everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review of Poison Ivy #1. This is a new series. Let's take a look at the creative team and then we'll get into the actual series here. I will give you a bit of a heads up. There is a backup story in Batman 124 that I would recommend you read before reading this. I think it gives you a little bit of color. It's also done by G. Willow Wilson, so it gives you a little bit of an idea as to what's happening prior to the events of this book. I think the issue 1 definitely lets you in on catches you up on everything that's going on. It has enough exposition that you won't feel left out. But a lot has happened to Ivy in the last, I would say maybe the last year or so in the comics. So definitely you want to maybe check that out. So that's in the backup story for Batman 124. Now that I've said all that, let's take a look at the creative team for this book. And then you can also check out our review for Batman 124, where I'll talk a little bit more about this Poison Ivy story. So in this book, we have a story by G. Willow Wilson with art by Marcio, Takara, colors by Arif, Prianto, and letters by Hassan, Otsmane-Elhaou. Really cool cover by Jessic, Fong. There's also some really neat variants, which we'll look in the back. But in this book, this is chapter 1. Pamela Isley has been through a lot of things. Pamela Isley has been a lot of things in her life: a living god, a supervillain, an activist, a scientist, and dead. In a new body that she didn't ask for, with a renewed sense of purpose, Ivy leaves Gotham and sets out to complete her greatest work, a gift to the world that will heal and damage heal the damage dealt to it by ending humanity. Spinning out of the pages of Batman, DC is proud to present the unbelievable next chapter in Poison Ivy's life. And man, yeah, when the synopsis tells you that this is Ivy's greatest work, I definitely feel that in this issue. It kicks off very quickly. Let's take a look at some art as I talk a little bit more about this issue. I really appreciate, first of all, I want to start with the narration and the lettering. I really appreciate that it's all written, it's all Ivy's notes. So here we get an in-depth look at what's going on with Ivy. And then, as you can see here, we have these little mushrooms that are growing up and that are growing in this dead carcass, and that kind of hints at what's gonna be the theme of this series. I really appreciate that work by Takara and Prianto. I think they do a fantastic job of making this both kind of look really cool and beautiful, but also very disturbing at the same time, and that maintains throughout the book. You know, I think it's very important to emphasize in a book for Ivy the power of nature. So I really enjoyed this. And here you can see very close to the ground, very focused on the nature around. We don't really get to see any actual people until like maybe the 3rd page or so, which is really interesting. And even then, we don't see Ivy until later. We do get a very cool reveal of Ivy. I'm really digging, like the story that I talked about in the Batman issue kind of goes into her new look as well. So very interesting that they decided to do it like this, but I really enjoy this this issue. The whole theme of Ivy using these mushrooms to kind of spread death, pretty much. Yeah, really cool. Really cool concept. But there's way more to that story than just Ivy killing people or spreading these mushrooms. So very excited to see what happens next. If you haven't read G. Willow Wilson's Ms. Marvel, I mean, this week is the time to do it, right? So very excited for that. Very excited for this book as well. So just really love to see when creators get to take a crack at a character and maybe try to do something really cool and really different. So as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned because we have more trailer reactions, comic reviews, movie reviews, TV recaps, all that fun stuff. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.